If you could combine a tremendous love of garden railroading with a sizable investment, an incredible amount of building and design knowledge, and a giant, beautiful backyard, well, you'd have the ingredients for one tremendous layout. Let's go to Arizona and check out a gentleman who had the ingredients and put together a recipe for one fantastic display.
Dennis Sarine has been successful at nearly everything he's done. He made money and a name for himself in the home building and design business, and would occasionally include a large model train layout as a part of the home design. He's well known here in Mesa, Arizona, where he runs a popular Mexican restaurant. But it's in his backyard that Dennis has made his dreams come true. He has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and many years building one of the largest garden railroads in the country. And get this, he's not sure he's even done yet. There are nearly 4,000 feet of track winding through his large backyard. On this fantasy railroad, he runs as many of the hundreds of cars in his collection that he can. He calls it the Palo, Verde and Southwestern Railroad, but we simply call it fantastic.
Back when I was a general contractor, we would take these plywood boards and make shelves about 12 inches wide, place them at door level height and secure them from the ceilings. We'd then add the track, put the trains on, and run them through several rooms of the house. It was a big hit. People loved to see those trains run through the house. When we started building the railroad in January of 2004, my backyard was just a flat piece of dirt. And so I realized from also looking at the layouts around the country that the best ones were the ones that were raised up. You could see more from level height as opposed to down where you had to get on your hands and knees. So this layout is built at a minimum of 30 inches, going up to 6 feet in some areas off the ground. So there's a lot of dirt brought into this project to build up these areas. Probably around 1,000 cubic yards of dirt was brought in to raise the layout up and make it more visible from a standing position.
The building process has been time-consuming, laborious, and expensive, more so than Dennis had ever imagined. We followed it for years, as interested as anyone in what it would take to complete such an undertaking. But it has been a labor of love, with an end result that is stunningly impressive. There are twists and turns and lakes and rivers. Everything is smooth, everything flows. It's easy to look at and very easy to enjoy. It's almost like a scaled-down version of a combination of real railroads and real landscapes. And that realism is exactly what Dennis was shooting for.
I don't know if any part was difficult. Being in the construction industry for 17 years, I had the credentials to build this, and the talents to build it. But a lot of stuff was done twice. We built it, realized it wasn't quite right, we had to tear it out and put it in again. I'd say probably half this layout was put in, torn up, and put back in again because it wasn't done right, or we got the wrong information from somebody to do it a certain way, and it didn't turn out. So that was probably the most challenging, is doing it twice instead of doing it once. If I had to do this all over again, I wouldn't run 1,000 feet of wire and 10,000 feet of conduit to make it electrical. I would definitely go battery from square one. The engineering aspects of putting all this in was pretty trying. So right now we've got a combination of battery and a combination of track power both, which is kind of good because a lot of people that come to the layout don't have battery-powered locomotives, and so they can run their electric locomotives on the layout. The turnouts or switches was probably the biggest obstacle I had to overcome in this layout. Checking other layouts around the nation, I realized that they were using electrical turnouts, which is probably the most popular aspect of going. They were getting corroded, they were having electrical problems, they weren't working, and so I decided, how can I make my switches be reliable in the Arizona sun day in and day out? So I came across this company called California and Oregon Coast Railway out of Oregon that makes air-powered switches. So I got hooked up with this particular manufacturer's switches, installed my railroad with a compressor, and it's been pure bliss ever since. I have had no problems operating a switch or turnout ever since I went to air-powered switches.
Watching Dennis work his layout is like watching an artist or an architect admire his creation. There are some things he is most proud of.
Probably two things come to mind. First of all, we lasered level all of our track. And so this track is dead right on straight, and dead right on level. When you go to a grade, it's the typical smooth transition up, smooth transition down. In fact, I've had a couple of people come to the layout and place video cameras on flat cars and run them around the layout, and they cannot believe how smooth the track runs when they do that. So that's one thing I'm real proud of, is the level track. The second thing I'm real proud of is the mountains. We've accomplished a great system of taking these flat concrete panels that look like a particular rock, break them up, put them in situations, grout them, and stain them to make them look like a real rock sculpture out of the desert. And I'm really proud of that fact there too.
Dennis says the main part of his layout is almost done. A few more buildings, some figures, a little more landscaping. But he's already talking about expansion, making it even bigger and better. They say that if there is something you really want, then it's worth working for and worth waiting for. For Dennis Sarine, building the Palo Verde and Southwestern has been a big job which forced him to travel a long road from concept to completion. But, as is often the case in life, it's the journey that makes the destination that much more enjoyable.